Alright folks, welcome back to Glesga News. Right, it's Wednesday it's 18th, yeah, I think it's Wednesday the 18th of March. What a month we're having in March with this coronavirus, it's an absolute nightmare, but this article here is dated the 17th of March. But, you know, how do we read this? I started to read it, it's the headline really, and it kicked off a wee bit of a rant, but I'm trying to hold it together. But my main focus is the headline itself, and if you read the headline, it's Coronavirus. Scotland facing economic armageddon as workers brace for job losses. Now that seems to be all they can talk about. They keep talking about, that shop there, that pub, it's not getting anybody outside it, that landlord's losing a lot of money, or that bakery's not getting anybody buying cakes, it's terrible, isn't it? You know, there's women working in that shop. Look, we know. But here's news for you, Daily Record. 470 people died in Italy today. Now, let that one sink in. Why are you not talking about that? Why are you not talking about the fact that Nicola Sturgeon, who we're supposed to follow, who we're supposed to believe, said a couple of days ago, it's okay to be in groups of no more than 500. A day later she says, shut the pubs. Do you see something wrong there? Does that tell you somebody's does they quite know what they're doing? Then a few days later she says, shut the schools. So 1 minute is 500, no more than 500, but then it's, oh hold on, no more than 10, shut the pubs. And right, okay, we need to shut the schools. Do you see what I'm trying to say to you? She also said, and what we need to remember is that it's really the over 70s that's got the problem. That's false information. She's been fed information and she's feeding us information, and that information is being used as talking points. People are creating scenarios, making justification for decisions based on these talking points. I'll give you an example in a minute or two. But 400 odd people died in Italy today. That's where we are, folks. And that's where we'll be in Scotland if we don't watch what we're doing. And people like Nicola Sturgeon will be the cause of it. Because she's no leading. She's following. She says we're following scientific advice. Well, that scientific advice is all over the place. Now, let's just repeat something. I've been following this virus since November of last year when it started in China. Right? And I've watched it and I've been taking a note of the data and the stuff that's been happening. Now, the Chinese went well overboard and they're welding doors shut in people's flats so they can't get out. That's draconian stuff. But the fact is, that method works. Okay, we can't do that. So, let's move on a wee bit. Italy, got it. A lot of Chinese people work in that area of Italy, the north of Italy. Right? It bloomed there. And before the Italians could understand what was happening, the scale of the outbreak, they were doing what Nicola Sturgeon's doing. Don't worry about it. 500's okay. Don't worry. And by the time they said, shut the pubs, it was too late. By the time they said shut the schools, it was too late because 400 people died the other day. Nicola, don't tell us we need to shield people over 70. We need to shield everybody. Nicola, people at 50, 60, 70, 40, 50, 60, 70, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. What are you talking about? And the only way you can do that is to accept what France has accepted, what Spain has accepted, and what Italy ultimately had to accept. and that is everybody has to quarantine. Everybody has to play a part in this. We're ready to do that. But you cannot tell employers that it's people over 70, because as a result of that, Nicola, in my particular scenario, we had a telephone call, part of a call, in which a manager was using your talking points to create a scenario where he was trying to assure me and every other person on the call that these are the facts, this is what the government's saying. But the government, unknowns to him, had said, and you're the government, Nicola, had said 2 days earlier, 500's okay. So, the facts are, anybody can be caught with this. This virus is deadly to certain people. And we all know the scenarios. No point me getting it. It causes pneumonia. And if you're a certain age or get any kind of illnesses or, underlying conditions, it can affect you pretty badly, and you can die. Because 400 people in Italy died today, for God's sake. That attitude that she's got, is actually an attitude that's reflected even in everybody's work. It's reflected in management. They're looking for some way to justify, no, it's not that serious. It's not that serious, but it is serious. Now, I'm aware of it. I mean, I was invited to go out last Saturday to a sort of a do in a pub, and I didn't want to go. And I said to the guy that was organising, look, I'm concerned about this coronavirus, because as I say, I've been following it, been doing videos on it, and they laughed at it. And a week later, the pubs are all shut. Do you get me? Some people are ahead of the curve. Other people are just own it. Here's another one. There's a young guy in my work comes back from Italy. Right? Last week. A week makes a difference in this, remember? And he said to the senior manager, he said, listen, I'm a bit worried. I've just came back from Italy with all that corona. North Italy with the Alps and all the rest of it. I'm a bit concerned. Should I go to my work? I get in your van and go to work. That's a senior manager. That's the problem we've got. Some people are focused, other people are no focused. Some people aren't really leaders. And what is all this about toilet rolls? Everywhere I go, there's people running about with toilet rolls, people fighting in the street over toilet rolls. What are you doing with the toilet rolls? Are you piling them up behind your front door so the coronavirus can't come in? Or are you making a chain round your neck of toilet rolls to hold back that evil virus? I don't get it. Now, what needs to happen here, Nicola, Boris, is you need to stop pissing about. The economic consequences are massive, but you need to fucking man up, whatever, and just do what France has done, do what Spain's. That's the only hope we've got, or we're going to have massive deaths here. And it'll be because of you. And you can't start saying, the scientists tell me. The same scientists are in France, Spain, and Italy. And in China, remember. So we need to all quarantine. That's the answer. Not to cure the virus, to slow the spread down. We need a dramatic slowdown. And just shutting the schools ain't going to do it. Right? So, Brace yourselves, folks, because this is what needs to happen. And don't want any more of this daft panicking, because what they've done in France, remember, is they've made sure that the shops will remain open, the food shops will remain open. That's the services, that's the infrastructure that they'll protect, that they'll shield. They'll shield day workers to make sure the food gets to the places where you can go out and get food. That's what they're doing in Spain. That's what they're doing in Italy. Don't be daft about it. Right? Food is still being produced and can still be brought in. There's huge stockpiles of food. You can shut down for 14 days. You've probably got enough in the house. And now, just go out and get bread and milk, because people will still be able to get that sort of stuff. Right? If it slows down a bit, then so what? Deal with it. You're not going to starve. You might lose weight. I need to lose weight anyway. And to be honest, I don't have a problem self-isolating, because I don't have any pals. Nobody likes me anyway. I mean, I'm more than likely to try and go out my front door, and my neighbours will have put a padlock and a hasp on it for the outside. Do you get me? So, people, start thinking about what you're going to do over the 14 days, 15 days you're going to be indoors, right? Have you got books to read, you want to watch the telly, etc., etc., start focusing constructively on that. And if you've got your kids off, do something constructive with the kids, right? Don't just let them go outside. Get them in the garden, maybe do stuff them. If you're off as well, try and do some schoolwork. Try and do something. It's not a holiday. Try and teach them what's happening. Anyway, folks, that's enough of that. If you like the content, hit the like button, share and subscribe. Peace out.